Bonjour, mes amis, and welcome to Gourmet Cooking. Welcome to our new series in our new kitchen. I want you to take a good look at it. It's a beautiful kitchen, and it's wonderful to work in. And we've got some great new recipes and shows to produce and to present to you. So we're going to start with this one today, and it's going to be a Cajun recipe. We're going to do a gumbo, which is of chicken and sausage, a typical Cajun type of gumbo. Along with that, we're going to do a potato salad. Now, potato salad goes extremely well with gumbo, especially in Cajun country. And we'll talk about that a little later. And then we're going to end our meal with some flamed bananas. It's a nice, interesting meal. I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's proceed with our recipes. And for those of you that are interested, the recipes, all the recipes, are on page 5 in Volume 3 of Gourmet Cooking. All right, let's start. Now, our gumbo is made up of chicken and sausage and oysters. So we need to get some of these things going. It takes a little while to do all this. I have some nice smoked sausage. In the Cajun country, they use a sausage called tasso. It's a smoked sausage, but it's highly seasoned in the Cajun style. So we want to cut our tasso or our smoked sausage or Polish sausage, whatever is your preference, into approximately bite-sized pieces. They're a little bit large, but they'll cook down a little bit. And we get those. Now, we have 1 pound of nice smoked sausage or tasso. And we have some others cut here. We'll take off the garnish. We want to saute that a little bit and brown it to develop its flavor and start the cooking. And, of course, we have other ingredients, which we'll go to next. Now, I have the heat up slightly on here. Let's turn it even higher, and we'll start sauteing our sausage. It's going to take a few minutes for that to really come up and start browning, but we'll start those, putting that dish aside. We now want to go to our chicken. I think we're going to cut that chicken up. Now, we have one nice large hen, preferably a hen, so you want a 4 to 5 or even a 6-pound chicken. Hen has a lot more flavor than a fryer, and in this dish, the hen would be best. We want to butcher this chicken, and by taking our little knife, we go right through the wing, cut off this tip, and it's going to be used for another purpose. And we're going to cut the wing into 2 pieces. We want all this chicken to be in small pieces. So cutting our wing, we have now some wing parts. We want to take off the leg, and we simply cut through the skin where the leg joins the back, getting into that backbone and catch that nice little piece of chicken meat that's in the backbone. Come through. It breaks right there at the joint, and we simply, you can pull it off or you can cut it. At this point, we go right through the leg and the thigh. Now, we're going to cut the end part of the leg off. It's of little value, and it takes space in the pot. We'll put that in our stock pot for another purpose. And in this case, we want our chicken to be in small pieces, so we're going to cut our thigh into 2 pieces. Let's stop a moment and go back to our sausage. Toss it so that all sides will have benefit of the heat, and will brown nicely. And oh, what a delightful fragrance is coming from this pot. Now, back to our chicken. We need to take the other leg off, and we do the same thing, and you can see this goes rather quickly. The first time it takes a little time, but a little experience makes it very simple. Your knife almost finds almost finds the joint without any trouble. Again, we want to cut off the leg portion. There we go. Go through those little tendons there. And we want to cut. We have too much of this skin. We don't need that. And we'll cut this part in half. So we now have relatively small pieces. Now we have the chicken breast and the back of the chicken. We want to go through that breast, through the rib cage with our knife, pull it back, and you'll see where it's joined at 2 other joints. We simply go through, and this becomes stock material. Here, going back to my smaller knife, we simply want to divide the breast. We go right down the breastbone. We break the pullet bone or the wishbone in half. Twisting, we pull out the breastbone. That's also good for the stock pot. So we have two nice portions of breast, both of which we want to cut into two pieces. And we have, therefore, all our chicken cut into nice, manageable pieces. All right, our little towel here. Let's toss our sausage a little bit more. And while that's finishing up, let's take salt and pepper and lightly salt and pepper our chicken. And we'll put that aside until we're ready to saute the chicken. So we have a nice little bowl here. We can put all this in until we're ready to saute the chicken, which will be very shortly. In the meantime, let's take this board aside, clean up. We're going to take we need some nice aromatic vegetables as usual. We have here what is called the trinity of Creole cooking: onions, celery, and bell pepper. We have an onion we've already cut half. We cut it in the traditional manner by cutting it through almost through the root stem, through the root end, then cutting it across. When we cut the third way, it quickly dices, and we have a nice diced onion. All right, we'll put that into our little pot. We also have some garlic. Here it is. We need to cut the root end off, strike it lightly. The garlic will come out of the shell of the skin. Cut the root end off, strike it, and we need to crush this garlic. And we do that by hitting the knife real hard, chopping, and we'll add that to our onions so that it'll saute. Now, our sausage is browning nicely. It's even browning on the bottom of the pan, but that's going to be good flavor to add to this. So now we need to get our other vegetables, which are celery and bell pepper. Now we've chopped most of this, and our bell pepper. Now we have our garlic, parsley, onions, celery, not parsley, but we're going to have some, and onions, the bell pepper, and the celery. And we have parsley, which we're going to add, so we need to chop that. So we've chopped our aromatic vegetables. In the meantime, let's remove our sausage from the skillet, and in the nice drippings that came from the sausage, we want to saute our vegetables. So we'll put the sausage aside, and starting with the onions and the garlic, we put those into our drippings. Let's put this aside. Now, as we cook that, all these nice brown parts will come up from the bottom of the pan, adding a wonderful flavor to the onions and the celery and the bell pepper. Remember, we also have the garlic in there. So we always saute our aromatic vegetables to bring out that flavor and give us the base for a good gumbo or a bisque or a good stew in the Creole or the Cajun manner. So we've got the vegetables going, And we're going to add our parsley. We can do that now. So adding our parsley to the other vegetables, we want now to add our seasonings. Now, they're going to be several. First of all, of course, our salt and pepper, which I need to bring over here. A little pepper, and I'm using a rather coarse cracked pepper, which I like very much, but whatever your preference. A little salt, and that's not nearly as much as it looks like. It always looks like more on camera. I need about a half teaspoon of sage, and I'm using some leaf sage. I need about a half teaspoon of thyme, maybe a little more. I'm a thyme addict, so I like thyme. And about a half teaspoon of some dried basil. Obviously, if you have fresh vegetables, or rather herbs, that's all the more. Just remember that fresh herbs, it takes twice as much to equal the dried. The dried are concentrated. So you need to double the quantity of fresh herbs if the recipe calls for fresh herb, for dried. Now, we have our vegetables cooking. Now, they probably could cook a little bit longer, but in order to complete this gumbo on camera, we're going to, now, this whole dish is going to cook for another hour. So all this will cook thoroughly, and we need to finish this on camera. So adding now to our skillet a little bit of butter. We want to saute our chicken, or rather just brown the chicken, develop a little flavor, and as usual, a little bit of oil with the butter helps to keep the oil or the butter from burning. So we get our butter melted and the oil nice and hot. We can now place our chicken pieces to brown. So as you can see, this recipe is made up of 3 or 4 segments. First of all, we sauteed our sausage and rendered the lovely flavors from the fat, and we use that to saute our aromatic vegetables. Now we saute or brown some chicken. So we have 3 of our 4 critical ingredients in this dish already. But the chicken's going to take a few minutes, so while this is going on, let me just rinse my hands a little bit, and using my towel here, we will go to our potato salad. Now, our potato salad, of course, starts out with potatoes. Now, we've boiled these already. We took nice potatoes. We cut them into nice bite-sized pieces. A little trick when boiling the potatoes. If you've ever made potato salad, and when you mix the other ingredients, it crumbles and falls apart. If when you boil the potatoes, you put a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of white vinegar in the water, the potatoes form a little light crust, so that when you mix them in the other vegetables, they retain their taste. It's a very interesting little trick I learned in Italy from Giuliano Bugiali, with whom I did some studies. Now, we need to make a mixture of our mayonnaise, and we have some Dijon mustard, or yellow mustard if you prefer, a tablespoon of white wine vinegar, and a half cup of cream. Now, let's stop a minute and go over to our chicken, and let's see if we can't turn it over. It's beginning to brown nicely. I have a pair of tongs that makes it even easier. So we'll turn our chicken over and brown it on the other side. And then we'll proceed with the rest of our recipe for the gumbo. In the meantime, let's take our salad mixing those ingredients, we need a little salt and pepper. So we add our pepper, a little salt. We're going to add some chopped celery, about 3 or 4 stalks of the celery. Let's mix that all well together. We're going to add some nice hard-boiled eggs, and we need to cut those up. Now, in this case, I'm using a nice little device that allows me to cut these eggs in 6 parts. So we'll do that, add our eggs. You can cut those further if you like. I happen to like large parts of egg. We'll blend that together. We're going to add a little chopped green onion. Tossing that, we now add the potatoes and mix this together. Now, we'll come back to this and do that a little more. In the meantime, let's take our chicken. We need that bowl again. Need to remove the chicken. And we're going to quickly make a roux. We're going to take some flour in these wonderful drippings and cook that flour, and then add the liquids and return all these wonderful ingredients back into our dish. A little piece of chicken there. All right, we add the flour to the hot grease, and we stir that. That should turn brown. Make sure that all the flour is incorporated into the, if it needs a little more butter, we can add that. And we brown our flour. Now, it could brown a little longer, but I'm going to cut that short in order to proceed with this recipe. All right, we add now 4 to 6 or 7 cups of water and bring that back to the boil. We add back into our dish our wonderful aromatic vegetables, our pork sausage, our smoked sausage rather, and our chicken. We're going to put this on the back burner and let that cook for 1 hour. So I'm going to move this off heat and bring on up further the gumbo that has been cooking for 1 hour. You can see how it has developed a wonderful color, and we need now to complete that. We're going to add 1 pint of oysters and the liquid that came from the oysters. A little too much there, we'll just add that much. That should cook, 7 or 8 minutes, and our gumbo will be complete except for 1 ingredient. We're going to come back to that. We did not add our cream earlier, so we'll add that now to our wonderful dressing. So our salad will be ready to serve, so we'll put that aside. Now, let's move our gumbo again back to this back burner, let it cook, because we need this front burner. And we're going to put into that, take a nice skillet, and this is going to be our dessert. All right, our spoons, here's one. We want to melt our butter. And we're going to put into that some nice brown sugar. We're going to melt those two together. As soon as that heat comes up, it'll start melting together. And we'll have the basis for our dessert. And that's going to be some wonderful bananas. We're going to cut those in half, and then in half again. Let's get this sugar melted into that butter, to which we want to add now some toasted almonds. So we have some nice whole toasted almonds. in that nice sugar and butter. And we need now to add some bananas. All right. We've got some, so we can add the bananas now. We'll toss the bananas in that sugar as we cut at least one more and maybe a couple more, if time will permit. All right, we can get rid of our garbage in my nice new little garbage disposal there, a manual disposal. And we'll toss these bananas in that butter with the almonds and the sugar and let those saute for a little while. All right, turning the heat down, we have now prepared most of our dishes. So we'll serve these, and we'll go to our gumbo first. And let's see if I can find a nice dipper, a very nice dipper, a large one. We're going to take our gumbo with the chicken, all the aromatic vegetables, the oysters, the sausage, and the wonderful broth that developed in that nice slow cooking for an hour. It's really a magnificent flavor. So we're going to put this into our serving dish. And, of course, all gumbo needs rice to go with it. Now, we've already prepared the rice, and all we need to do is serve that. All right. We have a little bit left. That'll be good for the chef and the chef's helpers. All right, that's a little bit hot. Let's bring that on center. We need a serving bowl. So let's serve our rice in a nice little bowl. So our gumbo, our rice, our bananas will be ready soon. We'll toss those again one more time. And we need only then to prepare our salad. And we have a nice little bowl which we've lined with some nice green leaves, simply to show off our potato salad all the better. And we have almost everything finished, our bananas. But we're going to go to our dining room in a few moments, and we will discuss some of these foods and talk about them and serve some. In the meantime, our bananas are cooking nicely, and our gumbo's ready. Oh, yes, we have one ingredient to complete our gumbo. I almost forgot it. And that is some green onion. It's simply a nice garnish on the top of the gumbo. So we have our green onion garnish on top of this very delightful and fragrant chicken and sausage gumbo with oysters. So we have our three dishes and our dessert, and we'll do that in the dining room. In the meantime, we're going to give you some of the recipes, and I'll see you in the dining room. Well, we now have our Cajun meal all put together, and we're in the dining room, and we're going to serve and enjoy this meal. So let's serve a little bit of it. We're going to take a little bit of the white rice that we'd cooked earlier, put that into our nice soup bowl, as much rice as you like. It depends on your personal taste. And to that, we're going to add our nice gumbo, except for one thing. Gumbo of this type is often flavored with filet powder. That's the ground-up leaves of the sassafras tree. It's a gift of the Choctaw Indians to Louisiana settlers of 400 years ago. It's a wonderful flavor. It has a very unique quality of thickening, but it also, you have to be careful because if you could put it into boiling liquid, it will string. But we're going to sprinkle this on top now. We could have done this at the stove, but after it's off the heat. And once we've done that, we want then to mix it in. You can also serve a little bit of the filet alongside each person's plate, and they can add their own according to their own taste. It's a wonderful flavor. It's really, truly a Cajun flavor. Now, let's put a little bit of the gumbo. We want to get some of the nice broth, some of the sausage with all those aromatic vegetables, a nice piece of chicken, and of course, we want a nice plump oyster to go with that. Oh, this looks wonderful. Tremendous meal. Now, we're going to serve a little bit of the potato salad. So now we're going to serve ours on the side, but if you're a real dyed-in-the-wool Cajun, you'll serve it in your gumbo. Don't laugh till you try it. It's very good putting the potato salad in the gumbo, but tonight we'll serve it that way. Now, we have one more dish to serve, and that's going to be our bananas. And we need to flame those, but we have the rum is not available right now, but we'd flame that with a little bit of the rum and serve that, and we'll do that just before we eat. In the meantime, another wonderful Cajun flavor is Tabasco sauce. 1, 2, 3, or 4 drops is plenty, but it really gives it that kick and that wonderful flavor that really is truly Cajun. A little red wine, to go with our meal, a little French bread, and we have a wonderful meal. We're going to enjoy it. I hope you will too. A bientôt.
La douceur du temps nous fait des avances. Partez mes enfants, vous avez 20 ans, partez en vacances. Vous verrez agiles sur l'onde tranquille les barques dociles au bras des amants, de fraîches guinguettes, des filles bien faites, les frites sont prêtes et